His is one of the most identifiable names and faces in drifting. Rhys Millen is one of only 2 men who have ever held the Formula Drift Championship, winning in 2005, the runner-up in 2004, and again in 2006. And if he has his way, he may change the face of drifting forever. How? Well, drifting has always been about getting sideways. Millen, though, wants to add a vertical game to drifting's future, and to do so, he's looking into the past. Wedged in between Formula Drift competitions, commercial and movie stunt driving jobs, and some off-road jaunts, Rhys Millen has been working on a special project. This week he invited the Drift Zone to the Huntington Beach, California headquarters of Rhys Millen Racing for an unveiling of sorts, Rhys Millen's vision of drifting's future.
My father's followed all my steps since 2003 and what I've been doing with the sport, and with him to first place his eyes on the sport, it reminded him a lot of what he used to run, which was the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Series. Trucks sliding around, but also hitting jumps. So for years now, I've had this bug to build the ultimate drift vehicle, which is, in my eyes, a drift truck. How can we elevate the sport to where it is right now and take it that step further? This is the answer, the Pro Stadium Drift Truck.
Elevating the sport? Now, was that a coincidental term?
No, it wasn't actually. Elevate is not a play on words. It's essentially how can you take the sport of drifting to the next level, which is you've got the dynamics of sliding vehicles, you've got the dynamics of smoke off the tires. That third dynamic, that ultimate dynamic, is leaving the ground, catching air. You see it in rallying, you see it in the off-road trucks, and you see it in a lot of bike racing and supercross. That combination of drifting meets supercross or drifting meets off-road is this vehicle in my envision of where the sport needs to go.
A tube frame design used in Score off-road racing, it carries a fiberglass small truck body, so it's compact. It sits much lower on its tall off-road tires than you'd expect, and it's a purpose-built racer, so it's lacking in many of the creature comforts of modern production-based drift cars. Millen gave us a tour of its more intriguing features.
It is a tube frame style vehicle, and then we have the engine. Essentially, it's not exactly mid-mounted, but it's a front-mounted, mid-mounted engine. As you can see, it's the LS1 or the GTO engine that we ran in the GTO in last year's competition car, so it's a very proven package. Going on down the drivetrain, we've got the transmission here. It's the T56 standard GTO transmission, linked to a Ford 9-inch rear end carrier. It has a lot of special parts inside of there that are bulletproof. They're proven to be strong, taking the hits, leaving the ground and coming back down for spike loads. So it's a very proven, very strong drivetrain. Going through the suspension, which is kind of the heart of the vehicle, if you take a motocross vehicle and the style of motocross jumps, they're all a light compression, then the suspension will fall out of the vehicle and then it will be absorbed on the compression from full droop bumping back up. So we have a working dual rate spring here, which kind of controls the roll of the vehicle and the handling of the vehicle. Secondary to that is a bypass shock. The bypass shock has different stages of bleed off for the valving. As the shock strokes up, we can change the nitrogen pressure on the cans up here, and we can also change the pressure on the bypass valves as well. So we can do a big impact and it will be very plush and won't damage the vehicle, it won't knock the dentures out of the driver.
Earlier today, Friday, August 31st, Millen invited his friend Tanner Faust out to the old El Toro Marine Air Base in Southern California to give the new drift truck its first go. The Drift Zone was there, and here's your first look at Rhys Millen's new Pro Stadium drift truck in action. After about 15 minutes of sliding about El Toro Marine Base, Tanner Fowles gave the Drift Zone his first impressions of the Pro Drift Truck.
The cool thing about this is nobody's done it before, okay? The core truck drivers, you know, they're sliding off of jumps and stuff like that all the time, but that's on dirt. They're generating wheel spin over the jumps. That's not gonna happen on temporary jumps. So nobody's really done this concept before. So the challenge is gonna be learning how to set the truck up, just like drifting has been over the last couple of years. Being better than the other guys at setting it up, making it comfortable, making it fast, getting big air. And then I think the sky's the limit.
No air for the truck on its first test, but that's coming in the next few weeks. And Drift fans will get a first-hand look at the truck at a special demo at the season finale at Irwindale. But remember, you saw it first here on the Drift Zone.